pretty tough.
Okay, we're getting in
But
the
yeah,
game right now.
if he could snipe the fatigue mage. Do you know what they banned?
I do not. Let me ask right now. Okay, no. Kolento banned Druid, and Reynad banned Mage. So the Fatigue Mage was banned.
Oh wow.
And okay,
Okay.
so I guess Reynad predicted that Kolento would ban Druid, so Reynad in return banned Mage.
All right, so Reynad kind of won the mind games
Mm-hmm.
here, and then it looks like he has a Zoo deck.
Yeah, Zoo against the Hunter, and it looks very favorable for the Zoo right now, just because one player started with Undertaker and the other didn't.
Yeah, I think in general I would maybe favor Hunter a little more, but it kind of depends on how the Hunter is built, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do they have explosive traps? Do they have a Knife Juggler Unleash
Mm-hmm.
type deal? Do they play Sludge Belchers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those all the cards you mentioned are like just very key cards. Um, and a lot of people have been cutting those because aggro. I just feel like aggro hasn't been that common on ladder lately. Like I've seen way fewer zoos than I normally do.
Yeah, they've all been replaced by Hunter.
Yeah, it's a good
I feel
point.
like a lot of times Hunter is kind of just a better version of Zoo in like certain metagames and the way that it ends up playing out.
Mhm. It just has, I guess, like better death rattle minions. Like just the web spinner, I think, is overall a little better than either leopard gnome or clockwork gnome. That's like a
Yeah, maybe if Undertaker ever gets nerfed, then maybe people favor Zoo over Hunter, but I don't know.
yeah. I feel like
That's a
Undertaker's
whole nother discussion for another time.
yeah. I feel like Undertaker is kind of like sort of a basis for Zoo. Or for Hunter right now, or
Yeah,
Hunter
yeah.
decks in general. Whereas it's not the same case with Zoo. Like Zoo can survive without Undertaker.
So he owls the Haunted Creeper over playing his Clockwork Gnome and Flame Imp, and I think it's just because he doesn't want the Creeper to kill off the gnome and get, two more guys on the field.
I think it's also partly because Reynad is afraid of a knife juggler follow up, and
Yeah, that's probably the biggest
if
one.
you coin out the Haunted Creeper, then it's very likely that you're gonna have a knife juggler. It's pretty like it's not the correct read from Reynad, but it's a pretty good read. Like it was a very good play. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
So Undertaker is gonna trade for an owl, and this gives Reynad the initiative right now. He's gonna be able to play like 3 1 mana minions. Fortunately, like Kolento has the Unleash the Hounds for eventually when the board gets even bigger.
Yeah,
But
it doesn't really do much right now.
mm,
But well, that's an important one that he just picked
yeah,
up. If he saves up for a turn 5 there.
it lets him get some peace of mind, I guess.
Well, if you're gonna draw Flame Imps against Hunter,
Mm,
this is the time to draw them. There's nothing that feels worse than when it's like really close and you're kind of, the Hunter is kind of starting to get you in kill command range, and then you just draw Flame Imps.
mm, mm.
Okay, so
I think you're just gonna try to play what you have now, like play Web Spinner and Hero Power, and then turn 5 just save for Knife Juggler Unleash the Hounds. Because like
is it worth playing kill command on anything?
I guess if you kill command the direwolf, you save 2 damage. So I think that can, or 4 damage rather. So that can definitely be considered. And I guess Kolento's going to do that right now. And the web spinner is going to kind of,
Yeah, I like that.
he's going to soften up the
Void
Wave
Walker.
Walker. Yeah. Oh, that's a huge pickup, Lothar. That's probably the
That
best card he could have
that's
picked up. Better than even Doomguard, I'd say.
yeah, that's a game-winning draw right there.
Yeah.
Is what I like to call this.
Shuts out the Knife Juggler Unleash.
That kind of combos with Unleash too. Freezing Trap is not what you want to see right now.
It's just a completely dead draw.
Yeah, because you don't want to play the Knife Juggler. You want to hold on to that.
Mhm.
So literally, your only play is to Hero Power and then play the Hyena if you want to, or I suppose you could hold on to it.
Yeah, I guess if you play the Hyena now, then the Clockwork Gnome is probably going to trade into it, and you're just going to get one fewer Unleash the Hound's turn. Unleash the one less Hound next turn, I guess.
Hmm.
Alright, so this is just going all to face right now.
All right, this is gonna be a pretty big unleash, but I think it might just be a little bit too late. Kolento's already at 6.
Mhm.
That's basically one Doom Guard, and he's pretty much locked
I
out.
mean,
But
maybe the knives will hit perfectly. You get 6 knives, so
yeah, I mean you have to remember each of these hounds get to attack too.
mhm. It's pretty good so far.
Yeah, I would say
Only
so.
one went to face. Yeah, only one went to face. So I'd say that's pretty good.
Can he clear?
No, he definitely can't clear everything.
No. All right. So he can either choose to get well. hmm.
So
He got pretty close to being able to.
yeah. Well, I think there was no way to clear everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's only one knife, one additional knife that he could have gotten.
So Reynad just needs any card that buffs anything,
Yeah,
which is not what he just drew.
that's actually pretty funny.
That's it's really unlikely that Reynad didn't
Mhm.
kill Kolento this turn.
Yeah, he had like both Doom Guards, probably one Defender of Argus, one Dark Iron Dwarf. And you know what? Like Reynad has been famous for saying like he thinks Sixlo's version of Zoo is bad and that the implosion is not very good. I think like he says it's good in like against in the Zoo mirror, but I think based on that he probably thinks it's good versus Hunter as well. But based off what he's
hmm
saying, like implosion is not that good in general, he might not run it. And instead of the implosions, he might run other 4 drops like Defender of Argus and Dark Iron Dwarf. So that's even more chances for him to buff this Loatheb to kill Kolento.
I mean, I think he's still probably in a pretty good spot, right? You put him to 1, you play a Leper Gnome, but I guess there's potential that Kolento. Let's see, Reynad's at what? It was a 14, so it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You've seen one kill command.
Yeah, I don't think if you play.
Well, he just has to kill him this turn because the Leper Gnome is going to do 2 damage no matter what next turn.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's even a potential here. Let's say you roll Leok or Huffer's the same, right? And then you throw a knife at the face. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Knife didn't go. Yeah, I don't think there's any way for him to.
Even if the knife went to face,
If you
he was 1
okay,
damage off, I think.
so he has to clear off the Harvest Golem and the Loatheb, and then get the Leper Gnome freezing trapped. I think.
Okay.
Is that the only way to survive? And yeah, he can play the hyena too. There is potential. Yeah, and he has to
Oh my
the Leper
god.
Gnome has to be dodging these knives as well. Yeah, I think he lives with this play.
That's insane. He needs to top deck Doomguard? Kolento needs to top deck Doomguard. This is insane. Kolento
Yeah,
might win this game.
yeah, he might. This is crazy.
10-6 Scavenging Hyena. Oh, but an Argus. That's no,
Hmm.
that doesn't stop lethal. Kolento or Reynad has to tap now.
Wait, why doesn't it? If you just Argus up your Leper Gnome and just not attack with it.
Because the knife juggler can just oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, the Kolento has 1 HP. Yeah, he can just Argus it, not attack, and I guess win the game. Kolento's also already played a Silence.
Supposed to.
He's played 1 Owl, and most Hunter decks don't run 2 Owls. In fact, I haven't seen one that runs 2 Owls in a very long time. So the game just swung again. Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Clento's just actually dead now. Because there's no way to just leave the Leper Gnome on the field again.
Mhm.
And there's no way to get through this without killing yourself.
Kolento's looking kind of sad right now.
This was a really weird game.
Yeah, it was.
But I think based off deck list, Kolento should probably be favored just because I see the explosive trap, knife juggler, unleash. Reynad just got a super good turn 5 Lotheb
Mhm.
right off the top. Basically, that if you get that fiery war axe, then you're sitting in a good spot. If you don't get it, then it's a little
Yeah.
it's a little sketchy.
Exactly. And we
Right?
see no fiery war axe from Kolento.
No, but Deathbite is not the worst, and Armor Smith is something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Although
And Whirlwind,
uh,
of course, is not terrible.
Reynad has a pretty nice hand, though. He gets a double 1-drop into a 2-drop of his choice, curves right into Harvest Golem.
I mean, it is Zoo, so it's to be expected, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like though if Zood doesn't have the coin, you do see them, kind of
Mm-hmm.
have some awkward starts more often. Oh, that's
Oh,
he just top decked that,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Did you see Reynad's face
Mm.
when he played
I
the
saw
Kazas
I saw
Master?
the very end of it.
You
Yeah,
saw the salt, right?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. This is kind of awkward because now Reynad's trading into it because he doesn't want he'd rather have the Flame Imp die than the Knife Juggler,
Mm-hmm.
and then I guess he's playing Armor Smith to sort of set up for a Whirlwind,
Mm-hmm.
or I guess he's most likely just going to Death Spite next turn, but. You can't really afford to take too many turns against Zoo and just not do anything, so I guess he's just, throwing it out there.
Oh, there's the fiery war axe right on time. So it can actually, Kolento can actually clear the board right now with the fiery war axe and the whirlwind, but he kind of gives up his board entirely as well.
I think you want a Death Spite, though.
Yeah, I like this play a little better. You set up for the whirlwind effect next turn, and you can pretty much just clear the harvest golem. Any
Yeah,
following
by,
turn.
by killing the Juggler commits you to killing the Harvest Golem next turn. If you kill... Although I guess you're probably going to want to kill the Juggler even if you kill the first half Harvest Golem anyways.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm just babbling here.
Yeah, and even though Kolento didn't start off with the fiery war axe, which is like by far the most important card, he's somehow gotten himself in a really good position right now against
Yeah.
Reynad, who is playing his own deck.
Yeah, well, I mean, that Cruel Taskmaster was pretty much just as good as a Fiery War Axe, right? Because Fiery War Axe is usually a 2-for-1.
Mm-hmm.
You kill 2 minions. And Cruel Taskmaster killed the Leper Gnome, and Reynad traded the Flame Imp into it. So it was actually a Fiery War Axe that dealt him less. It was actually better than a Fiery War Axe because he didn't take any damage from it because Reynad made the trade for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he doesn't even clear the Harvest Golem right now because the Sludge Belcher just blocks the Harvest Golem entirely.
Yeah, there's just no need to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, if you the longer you wait, if you can get the Whirlwind effect, if you add more minions to the board with Armor Smith, that's more armor you're going to gain from the Whirlwind effect. And it kind of makes Reynad have to think about, Reynad's hand isn't really like this. But if Reynad's hand had a bunch of 2-1s in it, then he'd be kind of prevented from playing them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess you could kind of play the Lotheb to. The thing is, if you play the Lotheb, like it gets traded into so easily with the Death Spite. Yeah, but everything
Yeah.
is just so weak to Death Spite right now.
Yeah, Kolento will get to ask Lotheb some questions here.
Kolento makes that play, but as you can see from his face on camera, he's just uncomfortable making that play. He's just uncomfortable with the whole situation.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see Kolento break the Harvest Golem and then ask this Lotheb a question. Or is he... Maybe... I don't see why you wouldn't kill this Lotheb. I guess your plan is... If he's going to Sylvanas, then his plan is probably to trade...
Maybe he
trade it off.
He just wants more armor, and he wants his Sylvanas to get more damage. Like if
so
Sylvanas,
he's still going to do this.
Yeah.
He's playing Sylvanas also. Okay.
That's actually a pretty good play.
This.
Like if his Sylvanas is more damaged, it can trade into like Dark Iron Dwarfs pretty easily, or it can trade into the 4/4 that comes out of the Nubian Egg.
So do you think Kolento purposely played the Sylvanas to get 4 damage onto it?
Yeah,
or do you think he just...
I do think so.
Okay.
Like, just for those exact reasons, just so it can trade into 4/4s and then steal something.
It's even got to work. Yeah, I think Kolento probably has this game. I know it's a little early to make that call, but just kind of judging, what's in his hand, it looks like he's got all the tools he needs to just kind of survive. Like all you want to do against Zoo as a warrior is just survive, and you're gonna win
Hmm.
the late, the super late game.
Yeah, and
And
he has a lot of like tools in his hand right now. Even though he only has 4 cards, he has the axe to clear stuff. He has the Shield Maiden to gain back health. Some drawing power with Acolyte plus Whirlwind.
he's gonna steal something with the Sylvanas.
Yeah,
He's got Armor Smith still, double Armor Smith.
guess he'll never
If
lose
he
a brawl.
wanted to, if he wanted to, he could Armor Smith Acolyte and Whirlwind and gain a boatload of armor.
Not sure if that's the best play though.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the best play. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
of course, of
that
course.
it's something he could do, which would be kind of cool. So let's see. He could. So what are his other options then? I don't think this is a whirlwind turn. I guess it could be because you can run your slimes and your armor smith into the dogs.
Into the dogs. Yeah, I guess just
But then you kill off your armor smith.
I guess you kind of wanted to develop Shield Maiden, but like there's you just want that strong minion on the board, but at the same time you can't like really fill out the rest of your mana.
I'm just trying to think of like everything you could do, but I mean there's a lot of plays that he can make and all of them are really good. It's just I'm just trying to think of all the options. So he steals the egg.
He judging by that it was judging by the attack he made. He decided to attack into the 4/4 before killing off a wolf. It just means that he was looking to steal a wolf rather than to steal the egg. And he took like 1 extra damage by having in exchange for having a higher percentage chance of stealing the one of the wolves.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this looks pretty locked up at this point.
I mean,
Mainly because of the acolyte. I feel like. I mean, the double armor smith and stuff's gonna keep him alive, and the acolyte's just gonna draw him into continue. It's gonna continue getting him answers. I mean, yes, warlock gets to draw too, but the acolyte's gonna kind of stifle that.
and you also have the whirlwind right now. You can get huge value. Gain so much armor. Gain like 8 armor. Um, you can kill off the haunted creeper tokens.
He could gain if he wanted to. He could throw down the shield maiden, gain 5 armor, and then whirlwind and get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. He could gain like 15 armor this turn if he wanted to. He won't, but
Do you think? Do you
okay.
think the reason that Reynad is playing this deck is because like he's known for this deck in Korea, and he feels like he has to show like his own deck?
Well, I think recently, up until recently, he's actually been playing a lot of handlock.
Mm-hmm.
I know the last couple tournaments he played some zoo, but prior to that, he's actually been bringing handlock, and I think a lot of players, even though Reynad's known for playing for like making zoo and popularizing it, and always changing it up.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of players in a tournament kind of are aware that it's very likely that he could be playing handlock. So I think he just kind of likes to switch it up just so he's not so predictable.
And
And he was on handlock, so now he's on zoo.
I feel like we have to mention that Kolento gained 17 armor the previous turn. Pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think he's losing from here.
Mm-hmm. He has more health than he started with, so against a zoo player.
And I don't think a Void Walker is gonna be gonna be helping you out too much here.
Mm-hmm.
You could shield slam your egg. Shield slam your egg.
Yeah, and judging by like from Reynad's draws in this entire game and in the game before, like I don't think Implosion isn't in this deck. Like he's
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Dark Bomb or Soulfire or Power Overwhelming either.
yeah, that's a good point. So it's just all minions.
Just all creatures.
I bet the Hearthstone designers are pretty happy about that. Like they've been trying to push like an all minion trading game for like so long.
Yeah. No, that Warrior's not too poor off or too bad off there.
I would say this is a pretty good hand for the
Well,
mage.
that's a double chugger right there.
Reynad actually has like a pretty interesting decision. Like, is he gonna Mana Worm turn one, or is he going to coin out the Mech Warper into two Snow Chuggers?
Yeah, I don't actually know. Um,
They
I really don't know.
they
I guess he's
both
just gonna play the Mana Worm.
they both get denied by Fiery War Axe, but I guess this is like a safer play. I don't know. Like I think this is slightly better against Fiery War Axe because you're trading a 1 mana minion for the first charge of Fiery War Axe instead of a 2 mana minion. And now like Reynad's kind of tested like, oh, he doesn't have Fiery War Axe, so I can just like I can keep playing these 3 mana minions and they won't get shut down, or 3 HP minions.
What was the card you just picked up? I can't. Oh, another Mana Worm. Okay. Well, I think it worked out for him pretty well because Kolento doesn't have Fiery War Axe, and he got the coin buff on both of his Mana Worms.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
This might be a game where we see Brawl come out because it's in his hand already, and the board's kind of already getting spammed here.
I would say that there's definitely a very good possibility that Brawl will come out. It's funny that there's like all these 2 3s on the board, and there probably will be more coming soon. But unfortunately, there's like not actually anything that can kill this Acolyte in one straight up blow and prevent Kolento from drawing 2 cards.
Man, this start is just pretty nasty.
It's nasty, but I think it can kind of be managed by the Brawl next turn, of course.
Yeah, the brawl is going to be the way to come back here.
And like it's I guess you equipped it. And now like Reynad, like there's a possibility that Reynad could commit too much, play into the Brawl, and then the Brawl kills like it's gonna kill 5 creatures. No, okay, so Reynad decides to play a bit around Brawl. Okay, so he Frostbolts the face just to get that extra damage in with the Mana Worms as well. So essentially
Worms, yep.
the Frostbolt was deal 5 damage.
Yeah, and Kolento's already at 11, and he can't use his axe. And Brawl is really good here, obviously, but I don't think Reynad's really too disappointed with whatever ends up living. All his guys are pretty much equal, and his hand is still pretty nice too. He doesn't. A mech didn't live though, so he's kind of cornered into just playing the Yeti.
And Reynad just bring all these aggro decks to the tournament today. He's brought the very aggressive aggro-ish druid, like kind of the double combo druid probably. He's brought Mech Mage and he's brought Zoo.
Yeah, and his the druid had, I believe, Violet Teachers in it, so it was probably Power of the Wild in there too, I'm assuming.
Do you think Reynad can come back into this game? Or sorry, Kolento can come back into this game?
Kolento?
Yeah. Like he
I'm
Reynad
just trying to see what's in his hand here.
Reynad is
Yeah,
like,
he could.
He's kind of running out of steam. It really depends on his next few draws.
Yeah, I think he can definitely come back here.
There's like nothing to set off the Blast Mage either. Like it's not very likely that Reynad will draw a 2 mana minion this turn, and he goes for the double 3s, which is pretty strong in itself.
I mean, I still think Kolento's at a pretty big disadvantage here, but it might be possible.
Like Shield Block is like a pretty good draw.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the cards you're looking for when you're in this position, anyways.
Armorsmith, not really.
So do you have to, if he does this, then is he just gonna whirlwind this turn?
I think it's the same effect. Armoring and gives you 2 mana or 2 health, whereas
I just
Whirlwind
figured
also gives you 2 health.
I just figured maybe if he wasn't, I figured he might have just dropped the Death Bite and just took out just kind of discarded the fiery axe and played a death sprite on the spider tank. But I guess this works out fine too.
Yeah, I actually probably might have done that as well, but I can see the merit in this play.
Also, I'm assuming this deck that Reynad has is running fireballs. Most of them do, so he's kind of
Okay, so
he might just be a fireball or two away from actually just sealing the deal. But I don't know. This armor smith is already gaining him a bunch of armor.
yeah, Reynad decides to not YOLO for the Blast Mage. Like, if he just YOLO'd and went 4 Blast Mage shots to face, that would have been pretty good, right?
That rusty horn. Yeah, no, I think Kolento is well, he keeps drawing all his armor effects. It's not the worst. Well, he doesn't really have.
Oh, this is a pretty good play.
Oh yeah, there
Doctor
we go.
Boom into Whirlwind. You call off the. Okay, that's pretty good. You call off the Harvest Gnome immediately, and you have a chance to kill the other 2 minions with your boom bots.
We picked up another blast mage.
Yeah, just curves perfectly, at least for this turn. But now Reynad will be top decking.
It's going all to the face.
Yeah, fortunately Kolento has the he has the Shield Maiden, so he can clear off 2 minions this turn. That's gonna be actually really good. He's gonna go back up to if he just Shield Maidens, armors up, and executes this turn.
Execute.
Yeah, he's gonna go back up to 11 health essentially, and Reynad will be just top decking every single turn.
Well, he's thinking about other stuff. Maybe he was thinking about something with Gromish. I can't really think of any other play that I like more than the Shield Maiden.
I think he was just deciding whether he wanted to kill the Yeti or the Goblin Blast Mage. There's like no more Mech Synergies left in the deck. Like Mech Warper, if he draws Mech Warper, it's not really a big deal. Oh wow. Did not expect that.
What was
Blingtron 3000. What does he get? Lice Justice! He got a Lice Justice. Did both players get Lice Justice?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, I guess it's fair.
Yeah, it's fair, but like I think Reynad would have much preferred if both players got like Gorehowl or any other weapon that's better than Lice Justice, which is pretty much every weapon.
That's pretty bad for Reynad. Oh wow, he can time rewinder. He could time rewinder the Shield Maiden if he wants to.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, so he's gonna just Grom into this.
Yeah, and now Reynad is going to be looking to draw the Fireball this turn, or he loses.
And
is that it? Oh,
sheep.
Not the right 4 mana mage spell.
It's not the worst card to get, I guess, if it's not Fireball. But yeah, it looked like Kolento was getting beat down pretty heavily there in the beginning. But yeah, Brawl basically allowed him to keep playing the game. If he didn't have Brawl, I don't even think it would have been close.
Oh man, if Kolento loses this series, I'm gonna be looking forward to what he has to say on Twitter about this particular weapon that he got from Blingtron 3000.
Well, it's done a couple damage so far.
2. So yeah, Polymorph on Grom, and then just go for the face. But at this point, if he doesn't Fire Blast the Shield Maiden, then the Shield Maiden's just going to get returned to hand and played again.
Yeah, I think he's doing it this way to kind of keep maybe Fireball as an out still.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's the correct play. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen to work out. I
want to see what Reynad looks like.
Me too. I'm staring at his face right now. Nope. No reaction.
Nothing, huh?
Maybe he's like given up at this point mentally, so it's like he had that, of course. Whatever, I wasn't gonna win anyway.
Yeah.
Is he top? Okay, he doesn't even top that fireball. But you know what? Like, if he frostbolts face, does that leave fire blast as a or fireball top deck next turn as an out? I believe it does.
Let's see. 8.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, Fireball is still lethal next turn if Kolento doesn't gain any more armor.
The funny dynamic about this Light's Justice is that the Light's Justice plus the Mage Hero power can kind of like yeah.
Is countering the hero power of the warrior.
Exactly. It's essentially like Reynad has the Hunter hero power now.
It's still not the one I would want off of Blingtron, though. I wonder if Reynad runs Antonidas, because that would have been a pretty sweet top deck. It might be a little late for it now,
Yeah.
but...
And unfortunately, the Sludge Belcher is going to counter this Light's Justice. No.
Well, I don't think he needs the Light's Justice, does he? Because he'll go up to 12, 6, 7, 8, 9... Oh, wait. He's already armored, right? So he's at 10.
Yeah, he's at 10 right now. So
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, he doesn't need the Light's Justice this turn. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Fireball is the only out.
That's an interesting.
I guess Pyroblast isn't out too if you run.
Oh my god!
Oh, he got it.
He got it. Oh, he wins. Good job. Top deck. That's the kind of like the top deck to end all top decks.
That was like another game where it's like, oh, Reynad's crushing them, and then it's like, oh, looks like Kolento's in a good spot again, and then nope, it's just back and forth.
I wish there was like a little more emotion coming from Reynad though. Like
I think he might be
so he might be able to curve out even better.
Yeah, I don't think it's an awful matchup for Druid. I think it's pretty. I actually think it's pretty even, and obviously it's a little draw dependent too. Kolento's hand is not exceptional. Neither is Reynad's really. Reynad doesn't have a mech, so this Cogmaster is kind of a little sketchy here. And then the Frostball and Fireball are, you probably don't even really need them for the first few turns. So I think both the players' hands are a little bit subpar.
Yeah, and Blingtron 3000 is not what you want right now.
Blingtron round 2.
Blingtron is actually like a pretty good card in this deck actually. Now that I think about it, because
any aggressive deck, right?
Yeah, it lets you like get that final damage potentially to end out the game.
I wonder if he runs Harrison Jones just because he threw in the Blingtron. You probably don't need it in this kind of deck though. Your deck's so aggressive, you don't really care if your opponent has a weapon. You're just trying to kill them.
Yeah. It's like Amaz has been using Harrison Jones and Blingtron as priest deck, but it's more of like a controlling priest, so it makes more sense in that case. And actually, I want to say that like this is the first time I think I've seen Tinker Talent Technician being played as a 3/3.
Yeah, this is and Reynad even has the Blast Mage and still no mech, so this is not good for him. Well,
I mean,
I think he's probably gonna Frostbolt this,
yeah,
right?
At least he has Frostbolt.
And then maybe just save the. I think he's probably just gonna save the Clockwork Gnome, or to play at the same turn he Blast Mages, or like the thing is, if you play the Clockwork Gnome, you're kind of okay if your opponent spends 2 mana of their turn 5 to hero power it down. It might just stick around anyways.
Yeah, I think you can play the Clockwork Gnome. The thing is, you've seen Kolento not have really any good plays in the first few turns. So it's less likely that he has like a 2 or 3 drop or a 4 drop in his hand right now, or I guess just a 2 or 3 drop rather. But yeah,
No, he is going to hero power it down.
And the other thing is that he has Blingtron 3000, so he has an alternative turn 5 play.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's too bad he can't Blast Mage though. He might be able to snipe off this shade.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. He goes for the Yeti this turn. Okay, that's fair. I think yeah, the Yeti is better now because like the Blingtron 3000 is kind of more like a finishing move. You can kind of think of it more as like a minion plus a fireball, Kind of like what's that 5 mana creature that deals 3 damage to face? Nightblade.
Nightblade.
Yeah.
I've played that recently,
Uh,
actually, semi recently, but yeah, because if you give your opponent a weapon, they're just gonna start. They're just gonna use the weapon to start removing your board. So you can't really play until the end.
mhm. Well, Reynad has the perfect answer now with the fireball. I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's still you're not really that happy about it though, just because you don't get to do anything else. You're not really adding to the board.
Mhm. It's just like those
I
turns
mean,
where like Rogue has backstab but no follow up. So like the backstab might as well be like you don't get value out of the backstab. The backstab might as well be like a 1 or 2 mana um, spell.
yeah, or like you sap something and then you just don't do anything.
Mhm.
It's, I think, yeah, I was gonna say he'll probably just play the MC tech
Mhm.
because Reynad's kind of has a clunky hand.
Yeah, he's just gonna be behind the entire time, and it's gonna be very. It's like almost impossible that Reynad will just have 3 or 4 minions on his board on the next turn, especially because he hasn't been playing minions the previous turns. His 2 or 3 drops essentially. Like the previous turn on turn 6, he fire blasted to face, so you know he didn't have a 2 mana creature at the time.
Okay, so just Snow Chugger Lotheb. Well, I guess it prevents the Cenarius from coming out.
Mhm.
Actually, Cenarius might not have been that bad. You could have buffed all your
Oh
minions.
man,
Oh wow, he gets Millhouse.
I kind of saw like a kind of a small reaction from Reynad at that point when Millhouse came out. It was like, of course he got Millhouse Mana Storm.
Didn't Savage get or someone else get Millhouse against him earlier
Yeah,
today?
Rainier got Millhouse against Savitz, I think.
Oh, okay. I thought it might have been against Reynad. Someone might have got it against Reynad.
Yeah, but that might have been right. But like we were always talking about how Savitz, he's been like having okay draws, but just terrible card at RNG from the unstable portals, the piloted sky golems, the piloted shredders. But he's drawn. Vayne has drawn Archmage Antonidas this turn, uh, and that might be something that can potentially bring him back into the game.
Yeah, it's one of the it's probably one of the best cards against a deck
Mhm.
like Druid where you just need to have that closing power. I think he's thinking about just playing the Archmage in the spare part to get the Fireball in his hand, and then maybe potentially finishing him off with the Blingtron and the Fireball next turn.
You know, if that spare part were the finicky cloak field, Reynad would be in like in an excellent position right now.
Yeah, that combo is so OP. Just give you give your Antonidas stealth.
Yeah, it's like super auctioneer basically, plus
He he
skill.
would he would win the game right
Yeah,
now
he
pretty
would
much
in the
if it
game
was that.
exactly.
Oh, he goes for this instead.
Uh, I guess it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I think.
Like I mean the blast mage hits, they're all right. Some went to face. I think ideally you want all of them to go to face, and then you just ping the mind control tech, I guess.
Do you think he's gonna buff his guy? I can't tell what health the Ancient Allure is
It's
at.
at 3 health.
Okay. Yeah, just making
I think
taunts.
this is fine, just
Probably good.
because you get more taunts, I guess. So he has so many intervene in his hand that he's just gonna hero power.
Yeah, yeah, that's smart.
Mhm.
Well, now Reina can get 2 fireballs, which is lethal unless Kolento can heal again, and he's already used the lore.
Yeah, it's funny that we were talking about how Reynad was in like a not too great position the entire game, but now that he has the Antonidas plus 2 spare parts, this is pretty good.
Well, I think both of them kind of had a not a great start. Kolento's hand was really clunky. He drew all his acceleration sort of after it was worth having,
Hmm.
and then Reynad just had to start with 0 mechs and a Cogmaster, Tinkmaster, or the 3/3 guy, and then the Blast Mage.
Yeah, so
It's like awkward.
Kolento's gonna cycle. He needs to get a heal or something, and that's not it. And I think Kolento
Yeah.
knows he's lost. And wow,
Yep. So
Reynad defeats Kolento 3-1.
I would say that's probably a little bit of an upset. Kolento went 0-2.